little bit, and we're gonna give our opinions on what they have to say.
Le who?
Andrea kind of has a point.
Oh,
Lapeef.
Lapeef. I don't know what that stands for, if it stands for anything, but it's Lapeef Network.
Lapeef. Yeah.
Right? And I'll tell you why. There are entire communities, right? If you go online, right? Let's say you're a dude who wants a woman to be submissive. You can actually find that. You got the whole cheat code right now. You can find any type of female you want. There are females who are ready to be subbed out if that's what you were looking for, right? Believe it or not, there's a lot of men out here, which I've witnessed, and it may, in my opinion, seem dysfunctional to me, right? But I've said before, I can see function and dysfunction to me, and that's my opinion of it, right? So there are some dudes who actually enjoy being dominated by women and don't want to be bothered with the stresses of being a man. So if he's to find a female who might be more dominant or leaning, at the end of the day, you need that balance, right? Where everybody kind of has their duties individually and you don't overlap in a way to where it's a conflict, right? If you do overlap, then it's cooperative. If you could balance that, then go ahead and have at it, right? Not everybody is going to go for the same thing. You just need function. You need a certain amount of bills paid. Unfortunately, men are no longer sole providers. Most people aren't, right? What about 10% of us could actually afford to do that comfortably? So we have already stepped into that realm where we have females compensating somewhat for the men's duties, right? That right there is a decent part of your masculinity. That's one of our core functions that we always say is provide, right? We don't just provide that. We do provide security as a whole, whether it be emotional security, financial security, physical security, all of that. But I've seen instances where it can work. Would it work for me? No. Could I live in a house like that? Not me in particular. But have I seen it work? Yeah. And I think we might be making a mistake saying that there is a cookie cutter way that's going to be functional for every human being. There are a lot of women who will never develop the trust in a man because of certain things that just may happen. Maybe they didn't see a
What
positive
he
male
just said.
figure in their house and they just
Yeah.
don't.
We said that, April.
I said what he just said. Some females just like they just don't trust it. They don't
So,
trust a man to lead. Some don't.
so with that being said, do you guys feel that should men let women lead if that woman has that ability?
No.
Why not?
That's not how it's supposed to be. If it worked in my house, no. I don't want it. I don't want it. But if it works in your house, then
So if you were the breadwinner, April, let's say you met a man, you knew you were more financially stable than him,
mhm.
but you loved him, he treated you right, and he wanted to just kind of pursue his goals. You wouldn't be okay with being the breadwinner and leading the home financially and support his goals?
I can support the house financial lead and supporting the house financially, but I still want that man to lead.
Mm. So you're not putting a price on leadership.
No. If the man that can lead me, there's other ways you can lead me except for, I mean, in addition to financially. If you can't, if I'm making more than you and you're technically not leading in the finance part, there's tons of other ways you can lead me besides financially. And if it works for our household, it works for our household. Now, I'll still, when it comes to financial decisions, we would have to, come to an agreement on things. You would know how much I make. I know how much you make, and if we can afford buying a new vehicle, or if we can afford taking this vacation, or anything like that, What is that plug? A 5 or a 20?
A 5.
Oh, okay. But if there's still other ways that a man can lead me other than just financially, and who knows, his financial leadership just because I make more, he might know the ins and outs better than me when it comes to finances and how we should move our money around and invest in, or like I said, buy a vehicle or buy a brand new piece of furniture or get another home or, however. So just because I make more, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to leave the house.
What you think?
We've had this discussion.
We
I
have.
say CEO and GM. You don't see CEOs getting in the GM business. The GM bring the business to the CEO.
Mm.
All this leading, filing, and this and that and the third. Man, listen. Realistically, it's a partnership.
Mm.
Only thing that happens is the GM, before they make any crazy, outlandish decision, bring it to the CEO. But if you properly hire and properly put somebody in that position, you should trust that they making the right decision.
Yeah.
It is what it is. If you have a problem with your GM, you need to start getting on Indeed, the Indeed of life, not online, and find you a new GM. This is what it is. If you feel as if you are dating someone, if you are in a committed relationship with someone, and you don't trust them with these different important facets of the relationship, you must go out into Indeed and find you somebody that fits your program of your operation.
Mm.
I think we get before we get to this leading and this, that, and the third, we should be properly choosing.
Oh yeah. Choose
That's it.
wisely.
Because
Support.
if we don't, that's it. That if we don't get to the bottom of it, the bottom of it is finding the right partner for you.
Mm.
Because if you don't, then you're destined to burn and you're destined to suffer. And that's more than just financially.
Yeah.
Because they say most relationships fail because of finances. It's
Mm.
something like finding the proper person to fit your outfit is everything. Because that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Whatever I lack, you need to be strong in them points. Wherever you
Oh yeah.
lack, I should be strong in them points. But it's a
Definitely.
partnership. This is a partnership, but there is a chain of command in this partnership. It's a chain of command. There's no way for you. You shouldn't feel no kind of way because at the end of the day, you should know that. You should know that. If you weren't properly trained, I don't have the time to train you. You need to come ready for the position. And after we initially get together and I lay out the instructions or I tell you, I can be honest and tell you like I'm not good in this department. I'm not good in this department. Oh, I'm good in this department. Are you good in this department? Okay, boom. All right, I'm great in this department. Yeah, well, you should handle that. Yeah, I'm gonna handle that. I'm gonna definitely handle that. I'm not gonna even whatever I'm great in. I ain't even debating on who better. Whatever I'm great in, I'm not debating with you. I'm not having this discussion with you. If I'm great at finances, that's what I'm doing, and I'm holding it down. And all I request is, all right, whatever you bring to the table, all right, I need this so I can put this in this pot because I don't even feel right making decisions on what we going to do, even for fun, if we haven't set aside enough amount of money to do that.
Definitely.
You should
Yeah.
always have you a honey pot. Always have your honey pot. So finances will never be an issue in your household. But you should see how a person before y'all even get together, you should see how that person is holding down their fort. How are you holding down your fort? Is you
Yeah.
constantly struggling? Are you constantly on your final note? Then it will let you know if you can held down your fort before. I would never take a woman who just leaving their home or just leaving a relationship where they didn't do anything but the 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 domesticated things of a household. Because if you didn't hold down a household by yourself, you have no idea what I'm going through to make sure that this operation is functioning properly. I can't trust you.
Yeah.
So if I'm in my own spot, holding down my own situation, then it should be no problem for you to come up under me and let me lead. But the lead is just the position, the chain of command, but it's not the fact that this is not a partnership because everybody's doing what they need to do to make this cog. Everybody's a cog in the machine to
Everybody
make the
plays a
machine
role.
run like it's supposed to.
Mhm.
Straight like
So
that. Straight like that.
what are your guys' opinion about the other thing he said though about like men who are only seeking those roles, like they're seeking the role to not have to be the provider, or are they seeking the role to not have to be the CEO? They want to be the GM.
They gotta find the woman that's ready to lead. If that's what they want. Does it make them any less
That
of a
goes. It don't.
man? I don't know if that's the question you're trying to ask.
That,
It does
that
less than a
he's looking
man.
for a mama. I think
Yeah.
he's kind of looking for a mama in a sense because it doesn't make any sense to come into something and not want to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like a strong part of the situation. Like you want to be like everybody want to that 50% that you're bringing should be 100% of what you're capable of doing. That's why it's 50-50 at 100%.
What's up, Classic? What you think, April, about that? What you think about the man who
Who's looking for a leader? I don't know. Um, maybe some men can't lead. There are men out there who don't
It's
know
weird.
how to lead and can't lead. Now, should they know? Absolutely. But maybe they don't know how to lead. And maybe they've always been led their whole life and never been put in a position to lead. And I mean, who determines who leads anyways? I mean, yes, the hierarchy is
That's never
God,
been a
man,
discussion.
wife, children, or God, man, woman, children. Yes, but I guess it's tough. Yeah, Jen did start early. Yeah, Classy, you gonna come over to the slopes one day? Just try it. Just try it.
so I would look at it I would look at it a different way just to push back, or what do you call it, Plug, the antagonist.
Mhm.
I feel like
Hmm.
some of those men might not be looking for a mom. They might be looking for somebody who can help them pursue their dreams. Because a lot of times some people get stuck on that hamster wheel just because they never had a partner. You know what I mean?
Mm.
There's
They
you
never
got
had
to think
somebody
about,
to encourage and push and
yeah,
say, "Yes, you can do
I
this."
can dig that. I can dig
kind of
that.
kind of like that
I've
black
always
man.
had to be in the position of taking care of someone. I know what you're
Yeah,
saying. I know what you're saying. Go ahead.
yeah, like it's almost like that black dude, right, who created the fuel in Atlanta. He created fuel out of
Um, um,
Plastic.
plastic. Think
was it
about
Out
him.
of
plastic or
plastic.
So
was it
think
oil?
so
Could
think
be
about
oil.
him. Think about somebody who literally probably did that for years.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't be able to lead because his sole passion was trying to create that new resource for people. So like I think he would be that type of guy who would need a woman who can kind of lead.
But
So that, yeah,
that woman that he finds, she also has to believe in his
That
dream.
wouldn't even be leading. That'd be yeah, that would be
more
like
of a
holding
part.
down the fort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be holding down the fort. Like hold me
Now,
down until that's like more of a hold. That's like a hold me down than lead, I would say.
and look, but I think that's what I think a lot of those men that are on that site are looking for. I think men, we aren't the best communicators. So like when you lack communication skills, people might use other words for you. But I guarantee you a lot of those guys who are looking for that type of woman have a passion in something that no one else believes in.
That he needs to find a woman that's gonna believe in his dream and help push him along too. And even help him with his dream to see what it takes to get there. See how
Yeah.
she can play a role in making that dream happen.
Yeah.
But she has to believe in the dream. She
And I
has
think
to
majority,
that he's got to sell her that vision.
I think a majority of these cats, yeah, a lot of these cats probably ain't even thinking about that. They ain't even thinking about leadership or following or
They just
leading. I don't even think they're
they want
thinking
to pursue
about
their
that.
dream. They're probably just looking at their dream and how can I
But
get there?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just that support. Support is everything. Just
Oh,
support. I don't
absolutely.
think that's leading up following support. Support is like just should be something that's given.
Give
Support
it.
should be just be
Absolutely.
there. You know, if you told
Yeah.
somebody your dream, they should be telling you, "Well, I'm gonna support you in that dream. I'm gonna do whatever we need to do." Like, yeah,
And they
I do
and
whatever I
two,
need to do so you can pursue that.
and two, sometimes you need a voice of reason. Yes, you have this dream, but is it attainable? You got to make sure that that person believes that it's attainable. If you see it, you got to put everything in the place where you know you can make sure that dream is going to happen eventually. Because if you keep at it and at it and at it and it never comes to fruition, or it never happens as a solid thing, instead of a dream, it's your reality. We got to get from the dream part to making it reality
Yeah.
and see what it take, those steps that it
Mm,
takes to give
mm.
you there to get there. It has to go
Now,
from dream
I
to
done seen
reality.
I done seen certain situations. I done seen certain situations where she left too soon
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and thought that dream was reality,
Yeah.
or
What was that movie called?
just the chemistry of the chemistry of the spirit didn't
Yeah,
allow it to happen because it wasn't supposed to be with you or that partner. And then soon as you left, it came to fruition, and it happened to be with somebody else.
somebody else that
Every
believed in him.
dream ain't meant for you to be in it.
You're right about
Every
that
dream
too.
ain't meant for you to be in it.
Classic
Mhm.
said it is it attainable is the question of a person I won't be calling back. He said
For
nobody
real.
gets to measure what I'm capable of.
I understand.
He said if you have to ask, don't even bother. I'm going to go without you.
I hear you.
So before we close this one out, Plug, do you agree with April when
Hmm.
she said that a man can lead without being the sole like financial head?
That's a tough thing to ask me because I don't believe in it's hard for me to make a I can't I'm the wrong one to ask that because I'm not gonna let nobody around me be in that situation. I'm not gonna let you do that. I don't know you like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, bro. I can't say that.
If
I
if
can't say
if
that.
your
I mean,
lady,
you put
if you met somebody today and y'all don't discuss finances until after you make it official, and come to find out she makes more
that's
than you,
goofy.
huh?
That's goofy.
That's
That's
goofy.
goofy.
So you wouldn't discuss
I gotta know
finances.
everything.
You got to know everything. Okay.
I'm not
I,
gonna be involved with nobody that I don't know everything. I gotta know
well, if she
everything.
made, if you liked her, and then y'all got to the financial aspect of it, and she does make more than you couldn't be with her. Okay.
I don't know.
If that was the
I
only
got. I know.
thing,
I'm not. No. 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 I'm not saying no to the her finances. That's
mhm.
who I'm know every. See that's a real. I don't understand that. I got to know everything. I got to know
So
everything. I got to know what you do,
so do
how
you
what you bring in.
but Plug, do you think that's realistic what you're asking? You think you're gonna know
What's
everything?
that?
You think you're going to know everything about the person you choose? Everything? Is that realistic? Because, when they talk about setting goals, they supposed to be, realistic, attainable, like measurable. Like, do you really think that's a realistic expectation that you really know everything?
Well, I would say if she's not divulging that secret, then bitch keep that secret. I don't keep that secret, man. You know what I'm saying? But everything that I should know, I should know. Now, if you're withholding information, then you ain't being a genuine individual. You
Sure.
understand? Like
Yeah.
realistically, like if we are coming into this relationship and you are devoted and you keeping information away from me, how do you expect to have a fruitful, beautiful, honest, open relationship if you ain't telling me everything? So, bitch, whatever you keep it to yourself, keep it. Die with it. Die with it. Because obviously you just didn't want me to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I can't, I can't understand that. Like, you got to bring everything to the table. If I'm bringing everything to the table, me being open and telling you what I've been through and what I've done and what I'm capable of doing and what I'm not capable of doing opens up the floor for you to divulge that same information. So if
Right.
you're withholding this information, you weirdo bitch, then we don't need to be together. Or we could be together and you just take that shit to the grave.
What about you,
Take it to
Taurus?
the grave. Take it to if it was that humiliating. Take it to the grave. Take it to the grave.
Jen said you have to believe in something to support it. That's true. She said, "Who cares? Who makes more?"
Yeah,
It just depends. Some
yeah.
men
Like
they don't
I
like
would
their women to
please
make
make
more.
200K. Please make 200,000, 250, 300. Please
What about you, Norris? You did
make
answer
it
the
off,
question.
man. Make a meal.
We said, "Hey,
You didn't answer the question.
what?"
Just because you hosting, we your co-host. You gonna answer the question too.
I was letting y'all cook, man. I was letting y'all cook.
Okay.
I uh, I think every ambitious man would love a woman who would allow him to pursue his true goals and passions.
Okay.
I know if I had the option to just do this full time, like
Mm,
and just get it off the ground, get it where I want, I would love to do that. I would
mm,
love to not work a 9 to 5. Like I would that would be amazing. You know, like that would be amazing because I mean you got to think about it. Y'all know we all doing it together, man. We putting in, man, you putting in about a whole nother work day, just getting on, doing the 2 to 3 hour podcast,
yeah.
cutting it. Like you're working a whole nother job, and just imagine what you could do if that was your full time
Mm, yeah.
thing.
Oh,
Like
definitely.
you can multiply by 5 what you can do. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
Jen said that's a man. Which what's a man's problem? Which one, Jen? And then Jen
Who
said as
makes
long
more? Who makes more? Who makes
oh
more?
Yeah. Hmm.
oh okay.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of men have that issue. I think this is I only can speak for a man, for myself.
Okay.
I think a man doesn't want to have to ask for things that should already be provided. And that's why I think men like to be the provider because
Mm,
men, we do everything just out of what we're supposed to do anyway. Like, there's not going to be a man asking you to pay the rent. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
see what I mean? Like, let's say, for instance, Plug leaves his house. Plug lady doesn't have to worry about the things that he's taking care of. But I don't think as a man, Plug will feel secure with feeling like the woman's going to take care of all that.
Right.
If that
Okay.
makes sense. Am I answering
Yeah.
that right, Plug?
I feel comfortable. I feel more comfortable knowing that. mm, okay.
Hey,
I feel more
Skywalker.
comfortable handling. I feel comfortable making sure everything is paid for, taken care of for my peace of mind.
Got
Mm,
It's not what I do is for me, and everything that happens for you is a side effect.
right.
you. Okay.
So I do what needs to be done so I can sleep well, and
Mm,
whatever happens within that is a side effect for you.
okay.
So if I have to take care of what I need to take care of, it's going to get taken care of regardless. Because if you were here, you weren't here, it'll still get done. Just the same way. That's how everybody should approach it. Be like, if you worked here, this still will be done. This home will be taken care of, the bills will be paid, and I'll be fine. So if you work here, this is the same play that's going to happen. So now that you're here, you should be a bonus.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Good
Mhm.
good conversation.
Absolutely.
Very, very good conversation right there. Hold on, let's see here before we move. Jen said, "Oh, that he's seen. I told him to come back in. He was going in and out." Jen said, "I think that is true of both people." Plug.
Yeah. Whatever the responsibilities of each person who,
I tell everybody, if you really know me, I don't want to work. That's why I went to the Air Force for 20 years. I'm
you put in your time, basically. Yeah.
hard work is not in my DNA.
Okay.
like